Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm definitely doing something a little bit different. I've got my little e-bike. I'm at the Volunteer Army Ammunition Plant near the Volkswagen assembly plant here in Chattanooga. I'm going to ride around a little bit and explore and see what's left here. I know, like this building here, last time I was here a few years ago with my daughter, it was still a big covered metal building. They've leveled a lot of the stuff out here to get ready for some new potential expansion out here in this business park. But we're going to ride around a little bit, see what we can find, and see if I can show you something interesting. It's definitely a little bit different than riding on the motorcycle, but it still gets me around. Just don't know how well this battery is going to do. But either way, it's going to be a lot better than walking. I don't know if you're technically supposed to be back here or not. There's no sign in this section of it that says no trespassing. So if somebody stops me and tells me to leave, I'll just leave. But if not, I'm gonna keep going. Heading down towards where there's some old train cars. They used to be parked farther up here. They've removed a lot of the rails and pushed them farther down the road. I think they may possibly have, they may store some of the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum's cars here, because I saw one of them last time I was here that said TVRM. Most of them look like, I don't know if they're just coal cars or what they would carry, but most of them are all the same. There's a few old engines out here. I'll see how close we can get to those. Like I said, last time I was here, there was quite a few more buildings, and now it's just overgrown with lots of kudzu. Kind of see up here, we're starting to get to where these cars are, these rail cars. And said most of them are all exactly like this, except for a very few, like I said, a few older engines and a couple of old passenger cars that I saw that look pretty old, maybe from the 40s, something like that. Come across this old bridge. Don't know how far it goes. I don't think this, yeah, it's just across the length of this road. But that's interesting. I'd like to get up there, but this is so overgrown. I'm not really interested enough to go through all this kudzu and snakes and who knows what's out here. Now I'm coming up to straight ahead. I don't know if you can see. There's Hickory Valley Road. This that I'm on is actually Old Hickory Valley Road. Sorry, my brakes are loud on this little e-bike. You can see they have stacked up some of the old rails that they pulled up. And I see a date of 1958, and then one down here, 1985. So, yeah, it's been active out here for a while. This plant was originally opened for World War II to make TNT for the Army. It was a government-owned facility, but it was ran by government contractors. I believe it was, from what I've read, it was opened back up after World War II for the Korean War and then for Vietnam, and closed back down sometime in the late 70s. But one time I was out here in a building and I did see some documents that were from as late, or they had dates on them as late as 1992. So I'm guessing they were still doing something out here. I don't really know what they would be doing out here, but there was some kind of activity still here. Here's one of the old engines that I think is pretty cool. And I'm kind of surprised it's out here and not somewhere like the Railroad Museum. I don't know, I just like the look of this one. Back behind it, there's a couple of more old engines, but they looked maybe a little newer than this one. This one just has a really unique look to it. I like it. Maybe one day we'll see it at the Railroad Museum. Now we'll head down towards the Varnell Cemetery. I said I was just recently here, so I had a little bit of an idea of where I'm going. Okay, no, I need to turn back this way, I think, and go down this way. I come up to these turns and I still look like I'm expecting a car to be coming down the road, which is possible if somebody was back here patrolling, but it's not very likely that I would even see a car back here. Okay, coming up here on the right is the old Varnell Cemetery. I like this gate. It's definitely seen better days, but it's still interesting. Here's one that's like, I think it's called a false crypt, where they're actually buried underground, but they put rocks around it and make it look like it's a crypt. You know, there's a headstone over there, and around the perimeter back there, you know, at the tree line, you can see more fence posts like these. There's a good few graves back here. There's also a lot of them that have these little orange flags. I don't know if you can see these orange flags down here, all in a row. I believe those are all unmarked, and there's quite a few of them I can see throughout the grass. So there's no telling how many people are actually buried here, but it's more than it looks like based on the number of headstones. Of course, anybody that watches my channel, you know I like cemeteries. This is one that I wanted to get to for quite a while, and finally just recently came back here and got to take a look at it. But I'm going to look at the map and see kind of where I'm at for sure, which way I want to go, because I know there are some buildings out here that I want to show you guys. I'm just going to make sure I'm going the right way. So I'll be back in a minute. All right, now I'm headed down into a little area that should still have some buildings standing. I can look on either side of the road and see where it looks like there may have been something at one time, like unusual. The ground is just built up in an unusual way. So I'm sure there was a lot more here years ago. Let's turn down this little road and see. Oh yeah, here we are already. You can see there's just different little buildings kind of like this. Pretty empty. Yeah, I found one building that had some old 3-ring binders. This is one I would like to get up into, but it's kind of grown up. I've got the camera strapped to me, so I don't really want to. I don't know, this looks too interesting. Like this, I have no idea what this is. Wow, this is really cool. Hopefully you can see this. I mean, this seems to be like it's reinforced. And imagine you can hear the echo. Wow. I'm sorry if the light's too low and you can't actually see anything. Should I go up these stairs? Wow. Yeah, I can't come here and not go up the stairs. But I've got to be careful because there's all kinds of debris on the stairs. I don't think I'm going to step up here on the floor because it kind of looks like it's sagging, even though it's concrete. It doesn't really make me feel too confident. Oh, I want to. Yeah, at least go around this way and look. Oh, wow. So, I don't know what in the world this would have been used for. Okay. That says emergency exit only. Again, the floor just doesn't look too good to me, so I'm not going to go over there. I'm just going to carefully go back down the stairs. so dark in here. Yeah, surely that floor's okay. I'm just out here by myself and really don't want something to happen. I get hurt. And there's nobody out here with me. So that'll work. We got to go in, see a little bit of that. That one's pretty cool. That's the only building like that I've seen out here. There's multiple little roads like that one too that don't look like they're even paved. I don't know what's out there. Again, since I'm out here by myself, I'm not going to go just anywhere and everywhere. I do want to be a little bit careful at least. What do we have here? Huh. Hopefully you can see in here. There's nothing in here. Yeah, there's nothing in there, just an old door. Yeah, it looks like it's been pretty well cleaned out. Oh yeah, there's like another building over behind it, but it's absolutely grown up. I can't get through that. Let's see about the little driveway here beside this one, see if it goes back there any further. Yeah, it does, but again, over here where this building is, it's just so overgrown. You can see part of the building up there, and straight ahead here is a doorway, which I would love to go in, but maybe I can bring some little clippers or something sometime and clear that out a little bit, or maybe come back in the winter when it's not so grown up. Hopefully you guys are kind of enjoying this explore with me. I had looked online and I didn't really see too much about this old place. I mean, there's some old articles, but there didn't really seem to be too much in the way of videos of people exploring. Okay, here's another one of these, and I would guess by the layout of it, it's like that last one I went into. It may be completely different. There's something here in the back. Kind of curious to what that is, but all of these are briars. So if you come out here, I would definitely wear pants. And also the mosquitoes and gnats and things are terrible. Okay, this is a pool of water. I'm sure this water is terribly toxic with all the chemicals. But there are fish back here. I see fish swimming around, and there was one I heard just go into the water. Don't think I'd go for a swim in that though. Okay, we'll move on to the next. Yeah, I said I wish this wasn't so grown up, so overgrown. But if people like this video and you leave comments, you want me to come back and take a closer look at some of these buildings, I'll try to do that. Like this one, like those stairs, there's no way I can get up there right now. There's all kinds of briars and limbs hanging out in the way. But I'm sure I could find a way in if people show any interest. If they don't, I won't come back out here. Because I want to explore this myself, but I want to share it with everybody else before this all gets destroyed. Because I imagine it eventually will. It'll all be demolished, and none of this will be left anymore. So, just get while I'm here capture a little bit of history. Yeah, here's another building just like that one I went in that was empty. I'm sure this one's probably empty too. Yeah, and it's empty as well. There's another pool of water back there, and another one of those buildings. There's so much stuff here to explore. I mean, you could spend the entire day out here trying to go through all this mess, if not more. Let's see how this one looks. Yeah, it's not any better than the other one. It's definitely overgrown. You can see some of the building there. Let me go a little bit further back on this one. Just hope I don't run over a nail or anything. Oh wow, I'm curious now what's in this. I'm not climbing down in here. Okay, it's water. I don't know if you can see down in there, but it's water. So even if I climb down in there, I am not getting in that water. And here's some more structures here. I'm guessing that's probably got water in it too, but it's so overgrown with briars, I can't get back in there. So we'll move on to the next one. Yeah, I'm sure if anybody else saw me on this little e-bike, I look pretty funny. It's got the tiny little wheels on it, but luckily there's, or at least that I know of, there's nobody else back here, so who cares? And yet another one of these, which I would assume again is the same as the first one I did go in. Yeah, it's got the same railing in the back for a pool. And if you look on a satellite image on Google Earth, a lot of these buildings do appear to be the same. or at least very similar. There might be some minor differences, but for the most part, I'm sure they were just duplicate facilities to process more chemicals. Yeah, here's another one of these. Probably more of the same in the back. This road appears to be more used. Yeah, I can see. More of the same, yep, more of the same structures. Here's the same concrete structures, there's that, the same building there. I'm not going to go too far down the road, because if you go too far, I don't know, I may eventually go down there. But I think you just get closer to Highway 58. And it doesn't really look like there's too much down that way on the map. But I guess I should just at least check it out. Because who knows, there might be something really cool over that way. And yep, again, another of the same. If anybody knows what these buildings were, you know, maybe you worked here, or you could recognize what they might be for, you know, definitely let me know in the comments. Because I really have no idea. And once again, we can kind of see the common theme. They're all just the same. Yeah, and again, this is empty. But I definitely think that a winter trip back here definitely needs to happen. That way I could actually get back in here and see what all is going on. And pretty safe to assume that, yep, another. I'm sure it's probably got the same. Yeah, I can see the same railing back there in the back. And of course, another one of these. I think we get the idea. That these are all the same. And I'm sure that's another one of the same ones here to my right. Yes, it's exactly the same. And again, same thing over there. Now, yeah, let's go down this. Let's go down this road. Let's go down this one. This is directly behind the road I was just on. I want to keep pedaling for a while because I don't know how long this battery is going to last. Something different over here. Oh wow. Somebody's used this for something or kept it kind of cleaned out. No two-way radios allowed in this building. So I would guess that would mean there were explosives. Hello? Wow, this is so dark. Yeah, this is a little unnerving, this floor, because I could see down here there's a level below the floor. Yeah, this is a raised floor, I guess, for all the infrastructure that goes below. No idea what all this is. There's like some old tape. I don't know if that was tape like for an old computer. Oh wow. Wow, check this out. Hopefully you can see all of this. I'm really not liking this floor. I don't know what these are, if they're old computers of some kind. Hello? Oh yeah, that floor in here is sagging. The restroom. See. Looks like there's some sort of structure back through there. think I'm gonna get out of here though. It's just somewhere I don't. This room is really cool though. I just don't like this raised floor. Can you guys see the raised floor? Okay, yeah, let's get out of here. Wow, this one was definitely worth checking out. I know this video is going to be way too long. And I don't know if any of you will even see this, and I may try to cut out some of these parts where nothing's really happening, but I just think it's kind of cool to see all this stuff that's going on. This looks way more used over here. Wow. Like they've just piled a bunch of the debris from whatever they tore down. They just piled it up. But you can see all those pipes. I don't want to go back in here too far. I've never been back this way. And this road sure looks like it's used a lot more than like there's a big parking lot. Yeah, I'm not going to go into every building. So I'll be here all day trying to record. But see, there's definitely lots of stuff out here to explore. Wow, there's way more than I thought. Let's start heading back this way. Huh. Curious. Looks like this road just ends right here. I don't know that it ends. It keeps going. I'm gonna get so lost back here. Yeah, even they've got little, it says 2nd Avenue. And they've got street signs. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop right here in the shade for a minute and look at the map and see where I'm at, and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Kind of where I thought it was, even though I've never been back to this part. It's kind of in a grid system, so you can kind of get an idea of where you're at. I don't know what else is back this way, but as I start heading back towards the exit, just kind of get an idea of what's back here too, since I've never been back in this part. Just hoping I don't run into anybody that's patrolling. Again, I don't know if they do patrol back here. There's no sign that says no trespassing. Start looking after my battery a little bit. I just feel like I'm pedaling so fast because this thing is just got these little tiny tires, but it does have pedal assist, so when I'm pedaling it is helping. It'll be okay to use I'm kind of going downhill, so I'm going to use just the battery. Yeah, it doesn't really appear to be anything back here, so I'll stop the video. If I see anything else, I'll turn it back on, but it's mostly just looking like kind of swamped. All right, I'm out of that other area. I'm a little bit out of breath because I had to come uphill all the way. My battery is on I think it's on the last little notch. So I've got about enough to get out of here. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video, watching this explore. Again, if you've made it this far and you're actually interested, I'll try to come back and go into some more of these buildings. I think they've all been pretty well cleaned out, so we're not really going to find a whole lot. But like that one I went in that had all the control panels and stuff, that was pretty cool. It was worth exploring. I think so. So if you're interested, let me know in the comments. Yeah, let me know in the comments anyway. What did you think of the video? Did you like this? I know it's not on a motorcycle. I'm on a little e-bike. But I enjoy these kind of explores. So leave me a comment, let me know what you thought. If you haven't subscribed already, of course, please do. I'm still sitting at 78 subscribers, where I was the last time I made a video. So even if I gain one or two, yeah, that'll make my day. So if you hadn't subscribed, please do so. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.